You buy Checkers. Checkers. Better and better. It is another day, especially on a Wednesday, to crush on another phenomenal woman. And today is, of course, no different. Hermien Elago wears many hats. She is a professional public speaker, a storyteller, and a professional speaking coach. But recently, she added podcaster to her list of hats when she launched the No More Fig Leaves podcast. We have her on the line right now to share more on this exciting new journey that she has embarked on. Hermien, good afternoon, and thank you so much for talking to us today on this Wednesday. You are our woman crush today.
Yay! Finally, I'm somebody's woman crush. I've been waiting my whole life for this.
I know the feeling. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Teresa. You're one of my woman crushes,
Really?
so I'm absolutely
Don't
great.
say that.
I
Don't
am.
say that.
You are.
Oh my
Honestly,
God.
I was speaking to Matt the other day, to Matthew,
Yeah.
and we were talking about how phenomenal you are as
my goodness.
as a host. So I obviously have one other favorite. Because of like family and blood, but also because they're brilliant. But you are definitely right up
Oh
there.
my goodness, I feel so special right now.
You are.
Thank you. But right now, we're crushing on you, Hermien, and we want to know more about this new journey that you've embarked on. Can you describe the journey that led you to the birth of your podcast?
Absolutely. So, Teresa, I am a storyteller. I use the power of story and the vehicle of fitness to overcome limiting beliefs and to heal. And I help others do the same. And initially, it started with my weight loss journey and me just really talking about the mental and emotional part of weight loss, because the world tends to be fixated on the physique. And I just realized as human beings, we're so complex, we're so multidimensional that there is so much about us that we don't speak about, and the world wants to make it our experiences cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And I realized that if we tell our individual unique stories, everybody recognizes, first of all, how individual and unique they are, but through story, we discover that we can do so much and be so much. And so that's why professional speaking is what I do. I turn my voice into an invoice. That's what I always tell people.
I like that.
Yes, but I get paid literally to heal out loud, because those of us who heal out loud help those who are struggling in secret to know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
So with No More Fig Leaves, first I just want to say why I called it the No More Fig Leaves to begin with, is because the fig leaf has been used figuratively to relay the covering up of an act that is embarrassing or distasteful. And it's also a metaphorical reference to the book of Genesis when Adam and Eve covered up with fig leaves when they fell. You know? So it's really talking about shame and breaking the shame around topics that we're so scared to talk about. And it doesn't matter what. And so that's how I decided to come up with it. I think right now the world is ready with all of the loss and grief and uncertainty that we're experiencing. We're ready for real and raw and honest.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
and we're done, Teresa. I think all of us, we're done with pretenses. We're done with the lies. And we're like, this is me. And yes, I'm messy.
Yes.
And yes, I stumble a lot and I make mistakes, but this is the truth.
This is who I am. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if we all show up in the world like that, we're going to live in a world that is a lot more authentic and a lot more real. And that is why the podcast exists.
Beautiful. How do you hope the topics shared on this platform will affect, affect or influence listeners? Like you say, telling a story, you never know if somebody else, the next person, can relate to that story. So I think that's the beauty of this podcast for me, that it's so real and raw, and that somebody else can totally relate to some of the topics and things that you discuss on the platform. So how do you hope the topics will change and affect the people that listen to your podcast?
Teresa, I truly believe that we heal the world when we heal ourselves. And I think we make a greater impact when we are open about that healing.
Yeah.
So ultimately what I hope is that somebody just finds themselves in my story, because I truly believe that we find ourselves in each other's stories. And this is why storytelling is a superpower. This is why radio could never die, because it's a platform for storytelling.
True.
You know, I mean, look at how the world has changed, and platforms like radio have stood the test of time, because as human beings, we are drawn to story. And more than fiction, we are drawn to stories of real Davids facing Goliath. You know, we are drawn to stories of the real, you know, princess who becomes a queen in her own right. Like we want to see real life examples of people overcoming great loss, great grief, great pain. And for me, I've just learned to turn my pain into power through story.
Incredible.
And that's really what I hope that one person who listens just says, oh my gosh, I actually resonate with that. Or, oh my gosh, you've just, you know, spoken, you know, like with the Fugees, where it's like singing my whole life with his words, you know, that's what story does. It's like we tell each other's stories with our words. And ultimately that's what I'm doing, because words are absolutely powerful, but words that are true and real, they pack the meanest punch.
Yeah, and make a huge difference as well.
Yes.
What has been the feedback, Hermien, so far on your very first topics? What are people saying? How are they feeling about these topics?
So the first topic that I spoke on was emotional sovereignty. Last week I spoke on shadow work, and this week I spoke on deconstructing my religion. So right now the feedback is, oh my gosh, that is incredibly brave. Because it's terrifying speaking on some of these things. It is scary because you're so scared that you touch on something that is triggering, and the tribe votes you out. And they're like, go, you know. But the feedback that I have honestly gotten is, thank you for sharing that, because that has been my experience too. I've just been afraid to acknowledge it.
No, I totally get that. I mean, I follow you. I mentioned I follow you on Facebook, and honestly, some of the things that you write, I resonate so much. That's why you'll find me loving and liking some of your posts all the time, because I can really relate to what you're saying in them. You know, so I really appreciate, and I think I'm not the only person who feels that way. What you're doing and who you are as a human being, and just sharing your story, and it's such a beautiful thing to see, and I just want to commend you on that, you know, as well. Thank you for being who you are. That's basically what I want to say. You know what I mean?
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I mean, I want to know, where can we listen to the podcast? Where is it available? Where can we listen to No More Fig Leaves?
So here's the fantastic thing. I use the Anchor app. But Anchor publishes on Spotify, and Spotify is really, really popular. It's in Namibia, and it's free. So if you go onto Spotify and search No More Fig Leaves, you'll find it there. But it's also on Google Podcasts. It's on Breaker, and it's on 2 other platforms. I just can't remember them right now. But I would say Spotify is the easiest. That's where I listen to all my other podcasts. And all of my other favorite podcasters, and you can also listen to music from Spotify. So.
Yes. Okay, so I can follow you on Facebook, and I can just click. Is there a link there that you post on your
Absolutely. So if you go to my Facebook or my Instagram is in my bio, but my Facebook, if you just go to Facebook and scroll down, at some point you will come across a link to one of the episodes.
They can take you directly to the episode.
It'll take them directly to the episode, yes.
Perfect. Hermien, thank you so much for making time to chat with us, and hopefully we can have a conversation in person real soon and just feed off of each other's energy. I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Me too. You should have a lekker rest of your day, okay?
You should too. And thank you so much for making me your woman crush for
It is my pleasure. You are an amazing woman crush. Thank you so much once again.
Okay. Enjoy the rest of your show. I'll be tuning in.
Thank you so much, Hermien.
Okay,
bye. Hermien Elago, our woman crush for today. Truly a phenomenal woman. And you can follow her on Instagram and also, like her page on Facebook. And you'll be able to, get a link where you can listen to some of her topics on her podcast. It's called No More Fig Leaves. That is our woman crush for today. We get back to the music and another interview coming up right after this, so stick with me. It is Sun El Musicians Emonyeni on 99.
Woman Crush was proudly brought to you by Checkers. Checkers, better and better.